In the beautiful sunlight of Miami is a sound not quite like anything you've ever heard. The Miami Sound Machine, led by their beautiful songstress, Gloria Estefan. And she will become a worldwide sensation. But in a matter of seconds, the world as she knew it would crumble. In search for a light, she would find herself coming out of the dark, and we would all bear witness to Gloria Estefan. Gloria Fachado was born on September 1st, 1957 in Havana, Cuba. While she was only a toddler, Gloria's family fled Cuba when Fidel Castro rose to power. Her father had been a Cuban soldier and a bodyguard for the previous dictator, President Batista. After their arrival to the United States, he would be recruited by the CIA along with other Cuban refugees, and they would ultimately take part in the infamous Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, which proved to be a disaster and cost many Cubans their lives. President John F. Kennedy would negotiate the release of the soldiers who were captured, which allowed her father to rejoin the family. He would eventually join the U.S. Army and would serve 2 years in Vietnam. As a child, Gloria liked to write poetry, and she also took classical guitar lessons, and music would play a crucial role in her life growing up. But at the age of 9, Gloria would be sexually abused by her music teacher, who was very close to the family.
He was family, but not close family. He was in a position of power because my mother had put me in his music school, and he immediately started telling her how talented I was and how I needed special attention. And she felt lucky that he was focusing this kind of attention on me.
Gloria would make up excuses not to go to music class, but when she tried other means to stop, her abuser would resort to dangerous threats.
He goes, "Your father's in Vietnam, your mother's alone, and I will kill her, kill her, kill her."
Gloria, who was losing her hair from anxiety, would finally reach a breaking point as she would break down and tell her mother, who reported the abuser to the authorities, who were not much help.
And they told my mother not to press charges because they said that I was going to go through worse trauma, having to get on a stand and testify. And that's the one thing that I feel bad about, knowing that there must have been other victims.
But once her father returned from Vietnam, he would be diagnosed with having multiple sclerosis, which possibly was the result of being exposed to the herbicide Agent Orange while serving in the army. Gloria's mother had been a teacher in Cuba, but now she was working to support the family by day and attending school by night, which left a young Gloria taking care of her father and her younger sister. So she didn't have much of a social life growing up, and she would use music to escape the many pressures of her responsibilities. Gloria would tell the Washington Post that when my father was ill, music was my escape. I would lock myself in a room for hours and just sing. I wouldn't cry, I refused to cry. Music was the only way I had to just let go, so I sang for fun and also for emotional catharsis. In 1975, Gloria would meet keyboardist Emilio Estefan, who was a sales manager for Bacardi at the time. He was also the leader of a band called the Miami Latin Boys. Emilio's band was known for playing popular Latin music, but the band was missing a lead singer, and because of this, they would all take turns singing lead. They would see each other again when Emilio heard Gloria singing at a wedding in which the band was performing, and he would ask her to sit in with the band. And a few weeks later, he would ask Gloria, who was a college student at the University of Miami, to become the lead singer of the band permanently, and Gloria would happily accept, even though at first she only sung on weekends to keep up with her college studies. With the lead singer in the fold, the group would officially change their name from the Miami Latin Boys to the Miami Sound Machine, and they would record their first album for a local label. The album would be performed in Spanish. Estefan was shy and a little heavier in the beginning, but she worked hard to slim down, which gave her more confidence. After several months working together, Emilio and Gloria fell in love, and in September 1978, they would get married as well as have a son 2 years later. By 1980, the group had signed a contract with Disco CBS International, the Miami-based Hispanic division of CBS Records, even though they would later be moved to the label's parent record label Epic. And between 1981 and 1983, the Miami Sound Machine would record 4 Spanish-language albums, which would bring them success in Spanish-speaking countries. But the group's American success wouldn't come until 1985 when they released released their second English album, Primitive Love, which contained their signature sounding single, Congo.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger.
More chart-topping singles would follow, and the Miami Sound Machine was now enjoying crossover success, making them a global sensation. Gloria, being the lead singer and the face of the band, would become an international star, and people began to look at the band as Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine as the group continued to enjoy commercial success. Emilio Estefan will ultimately drop out of the band so that their son would always have a parent with them while the band was on the road, but they would still meet up on tour as much as possible. On March 20th, 1990, while traveling together on a snowy interstate near the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania, the band's bus would be involved in a terrifying accident with a tractor trailer. Their son Naib would suffer a fractured shoulder, while Emilio received minor head and hand injuries. But Gloria wasn't so lucky, as she suffered a broken vertebrae in her back, and she would endure a 4-hour operation several days later. Surgeons would have to realign Estefan's spine and also implant steel rods. Doctors would list Gloria as doubtful for a complete recovery, and she would begin her long journey to healing at home on Star Island near Miami. After going through extensive and grueling physical therapy, a strong and determined Gloria Estefan would make a miraculous comeback, and she would amaze fans, debuting what would become her career-defining song, Coming Out of the Dark, which she performed at the 1991 American Music Awards.
And tonight she's back for her very first public performance. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Music Awards welcome back with love, Gloria Estefan.
Coming out of the dark, finally see the light now, and it's shining on me.
The soundtrack of her traumatizing journey, and now the coronation to her victory. She would also launch a year-long tour to show the world that she was back in the light, and her starlight would shine as bright as ever. After doctors told her she could never give birth again, her and Emilio would welcome their daughter Emily in 1994, and she would continue making amazing music while enjoying commercial success. And the sound of Miami was now the sound of the world. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Life is Lyrical, and if you enjoy content like this, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we're gonna rock on. Much love to Gloria Estefan, one of the greatest. Peace.